Hello and welcome to this quick little guide on how to manage your power in Elite Dangerous. I'll start with a couple of apologies. Firstly, I tend to sound rather bored and fed up when I'm doing these. It's not really the intention. For some reason I just can't seem to help it. And the other is this actual voiceover may not be all that clear. I've done my best, so let's hope it's worked. So here we are currently within the hangar at Gorbacko Reserve. Now I noticed something that was happening a couple of times. My Sidewinder currently has two Class 2 burst lasers and a point defense turret fitted, and that's it. It doesn't have anything else. But if we go to outfitting, you'll notice that my two lasers are now deployed, and we can take a look at the point defense turret there. I could either add or replace it with a heatsink launcher, but they're not particularly useful. But the reason for showing that is that with the lasers deployed, suddenly my shields need recharging. I thought this seemed rather strange. It shouldn't be doing that. So if we put all power to shields so that they recharge a little quicker, and in the meantime let's return to the surface.
Shields online.
Shields are back online, so we'll set power distribution. So, with the shields going down when my weapons deployed, could be a bit of an issue. And it does actually get worse than that. If we launch, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's get out of here. And then once we have the chance, we'll find somewhere quiet, a reasonable distance away from the station, and I'll show you just how serious this power issue is. I can't see the station behind me. That doesn't necessarily mean I can jump, but I can. It's disrupted, so it will take a little longer. I'm not having to go too far away anyway. Knowing my luck, I'll do this now and I'll bump into a pirate. So the drive's still charging. It takes a lot longer because the mass is affecting the charging rate. It does eventually put on a bit of a final spurt. Of course, now I've said that, it's not going to do it this time. No, it's going to take ages from start to finish. Okay. So, super cruise all out of here. We don't want to go too far. We're already travelling at one far enough distance. Slow down so we can safely disengage. So, if we look back at the station, it's a fair old distance away. Far enough anyway. So, now, if we deploy weapons, not only is my shields gone, but now my oxygen is depleting and I have 10 minutes left before I croak it. Not a particularly good situation to find yourself in if you're engaged against a pirate or two. So now the weapons away, let the shields recharge. The atmosphere is restored, so now I'm not going to suffocate within 10 minutes.
Shields online.
So that is where the power modules come into it. You'll notice next to everything in here there is the priority, which is currently set at 1. Now Elite Dangerous has gone about priorities a bit arse backwards, and in fact the higher the number, the higher the priority. So instead of priority 1 being the top priority as it always should be, priority 2 gets higher priority than priority 1. So if we set everything to priority 2, except power plant, which for some reason can never be changed, we then have everything still at the equal priority. And indeed, if we then deploy the weapons, again we have the same issue. Shields gone down and oxygen has been depleted. So let's put the weapons away. Let everything recharge. If shields are recharging, it's always best to put maximum power into shields so that it will recharge a lot quicker. If you don't do that, the last 3 or 4 pips take an awful long time.
Shields online.
Okay, reset power distribution. Now, let's go back to our power modules. So, clearly the shield generator and the life support are taken offline when the 2 burst lasers are deployed. Now we really don't want that happening, especially not in the middle of a fight. So when your weapons are deployed, you cannot frame shift. So if we set frame shift to a lower priority, that now means that when you have insufficient power, the frame shift drive is the first thing that will be disengaged instead of your rather more important shield generator and life support. And likewise, the cargo hatch isn't really needed unless you're scooping up cargo, in which case you're not going to have your weapons deployed, so we can drop that down a notch. So with those set up like that, now if we deploy weapons, shields stay online and I've got no danger of running out of oxygen because my life support system is still working. So there you have a useful little tip there about how to manage the ship's power systems if you're still in your Sidewinder and find yourself in a bit of bother because you can't use all of your weapons. So that's the end of this guide. Hope you find that of some use.